Harmonizing opposites by going back to their source is the distinctive quality of the Zen attitude, the middle way. Embracing contradictions, making a synthesis of them, achieving balance. Taisen Jishimaru. Welcome everybody to week 11, Synthesizing Grief and Life. We're going to take a little time right now to light our candles. So a reminder that what we're doing here is we're symbolically creating a container for grief in our space, between us, and for the world, for everybody. This container for grief. That when we figure out our daily routine of releasing stress and healing trauma as it comes up and realigning ourselves with life and loss and looking at loss and accepting loss and looking for the treasure in loss, that what's left after all of that, if there's something left, is grief. And grief is something we want to allow. So we're creating this container to allow for grief to just be. Jonas, would you please turn us in?
I would be delighted. All right. Well, hello, everyone. I invite you to make yourself comfortable, and I will do the same. Find a position that works for you to relax, and then close your eyes. Completely fill your lungs as you take a deep breath in, and then breathe out. Relax your body, relax your mind, relax your spirit. Wherever you become aware of tension or stray thoughts, simply acknowledge them with loving kindness, and then put it down. You are invited to put it down and let go. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to see, nothing more to be. There's only this, only now, only us, only you. You are exactly where you are, and all that you are is relaxed. As you continue to breathe in and out, I invite you to remember where you are in this universe, in this galaxy, in this solar system, on this planet, in this region, in this building, in this room, in this body, in this awareness, connected with one another. I invite you to remember where you are. Yes. I invite you to remember that it is a beautiful day. That even if it may at times seem that the sky is falling, oh, it's still a beautiful day. Remember how even after every flood, all the colors come out. Remember that what you don't have, you don't need it now. What you don't know, you can feel it somehow. Yes, it's a beautiful day, and you need not let it get away so long as you remember where you are in this awareness, connected with one another. nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to see, nothing more to be. Only this, only now, only us, only you. You are exactly where you are, and all that you are is relaxed, centered, and tuned in. With heart wide open, you are seen and you are welcome. And so when you're ready, you are invited to open your eyes.
Thank you, Jonas.
Welcome. You are always welcome.
I'm going to stop the share and stop the recording. And while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce us to this idea of synthesizing grief and life. And we're going to do this in two ways today. One is using an actual both and exercise, and the other is using something in psychosynthesis called the 4 questions. So we'll start with wondering what synthesis is. And I don't know if you remember last week how we used this annotation to just write words that people have to describe what synthesis is. And if you have something, just come over and unmute yourself and let me know, and I'll try and type up as much as I get out. And don't worry about my spelling, I can clean that up later. So what does synthesis mean?
Well, we kind of unpacked integration last time, and I often use synthesis and integration interchangeably, although I realize there are differences, but just for my own purposes, synthesis and integration are similar.
Nice.
Joining.
Nice.
I kind of think of it as creating new. That might not be technically correct.
Well, this is all whatever comes to your mind, so it's all okay right now.
Creating new from the opposites. I think of it as like a triangle. So you've got the base, like a triangle to opposites. Yeah, constantly seesawing. It's the third, top of the triangle. It's the synthesis point.
I'm reading a book right now that kind of reminds me of these ideas, and it's called Alchemy. Alchemy.
That's exactly where it's from.
Okay.
Yes, because Assagioli, the founder of psychosynthesis, he, like Carl Jung, he was steeped in the alchemical tradition.
How appropriate then.
Indeed. Indeed.
Anyone else? Anything else you want to add to this?
Combining. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merging.
What is that?
Merging.
Refinement.
What does Ooh, I like that.
Creating consciousness from unconscious opposites. It's kind of a follow-on from earlier statements.
Say that again, Richard.
Creating consciousness from unconscious opposites. Compotential. Yeah. Alchemy.
I think we're getting there. I think we're good. What do you think? All right. So on the slideshow that you will be able to open, that will be on the slideshow. That'll be, I'll get that, put that on there. So we're going to do a both and synthesizing exercise. And get yourself into a relaxed, upright position. Maybe close your eyes and have your hands with the palms up laying on each leg, one hand on each leg, so that your hand becomes a container that can hold some energetic package that we're going to put into it. And in one hand, you can choose whichever one, we're going to put the package of grief in that hand. So just close your eyes, take a few breaths, feel this package being dropped into your hand. And it's grief. And whatever that means to you, whatever starts to unravel from that package, whatever ripples come out of it, allow it into your hand so that you can feel this energetic package. You can start to feel the ripples coming out. You can start to feel it in your hand, feel it going up your arm and into your body, and just allow this grief to be felt and seen and heard. And as you continue to allow this, in the other hand, there's another package that's going to drop into your hand. And this is the package of life. And we're going to say life in the form of breath, the inhale and the exhale. I breathe in and I know that I am alive. I breathe out and I know that I am alive. Breathing in, I know that I am alive. Breathing out, I know that I am alive. And this package that's in your hand, you can feel it. You can feel the energy of breath and life and the ripples of what the implications of what that means to you in your hand, starting to unravel and ripple out into your hand and up your arm and into your body. And take the time to really let that land and feel that. And now in each hand, in one hand there's grief, in the other hand there's life through the breath. Physically move your hands closer toward each other, holding these two packages, until you want to stop and just breathe with these two packages in your hands. And when you feel ready, you can bring your hands even closer until at some point both hands are side by side, even touching, not overlapping, just side by side, holding grief in one hand and life in the other. And we're going to do a little silent breathing and just see what happens. And I invite you to continue this process as you open your eyes. Continue to allow this process of grief and life to sit side by side and live together and be alive inside of you together. And I'm going to stop the recording. So just notice as we do this, as we do the following activities, just notice your physical body. Notice if you feel a physical reaction to things that we talk about, things that you think about, things that you feel, images that come through. And if you feel a physical reaction, can you locate it in your body? What does it feel like? And just notice it. And every time we have a reaction, just remember that the first step to healing is noticing the reaction in our bodies. The first step to allowing is noticing. If there's pain in a reaction and we're willing to feel it, then we have a choice as to what to do with it. And we can choose clean pain, as we've been talking about. Allowing ourselves to follow it through, to see what it needs from us. So simply notice the sensations and vibrations and emotions in your body instead of reacting to them. And we'll practice doing that right now as we move into this next 4 questions. The 4 questions helps us to tap into our unconscious and bring ourselves into conscious awareness. And I just put up the egg diagram so that we could remember what we've been learning about the way of thinking about ourselves is mostly we're unconscious. We have a higher unconscious, a middle unconscious, a lower unconscious. And then we have this realm of conscious awareness. And we're trying to expand that. We're trying to get to know more of ourselves that maybe we've pushed aside. And at the same time, we're staying tuned into that which is larger than ourselves and that collective unconscious between us. So the first question, and you can close your eyes for these. And I hope that your journal is close by because we're going to either use art or writing for this activity. So the first question is, where am I now? This brings our awareness to the middle unconscious, to the middle of that egg diagram, to our everyday life. So close your eyes and ask yourself, where am I now regarding grief and grieving? And if you hold that question and wait for an image to come, or an emotion, body experience, impulse, intuitive sense, or thought, what comes to you? And when you've got something, take a few minutes and draw about it or write about it. Okay, so now the second question is, what is my potential? So again, close your eyes. We're going to move our awareness to the higher unconscious, drawing on its larger, radiant perspective. And ask yourself, what is my potential with grief and grieving? What is my potential with grief and grieving? If you hold that question and wait for an image to come, or an emotion, body experience, impulse, intuitive sense, or thought, what comes to you? What is my potential with grief and grieving? And when you've got something, take a few minutes and draw or write about it. Close your eyes. Bring in a fresh new breath. Let go of anything ready to be let go of. Make way for another brand new breath. So now we're going to move into the third question. What holds me back from my potential? Now we're moving into the lower unconscious to see what may be in the way of my growth process. Ask yourself, what holds me back from my potential regarding grief and grieving? If you hold that question and wait for an image to come, or an emotion, a body experience, impulse, intuitive sense, or thought, what comes to you? And when you've got something, take a few minutes and draw or write about it. So wherever you're at, just sort of let that go and take another deep breath, brand new breath coming in. Exhale anything that's ready to be let go of, giving way for another fresh, brand new breath. Close your eyes. And the fourth question is, what do I most need in order to reach my potential? So now that we've accessed what's in our way, we'll look for what it's trying to give us to enhance our growth process. Ask yourself, what do I most need in order to reach my potential regarding grief and grieving? If you hold that question and wait for an image to come, or an emotion, body experience, impulse, intuitive sense, or thought, what comes to you? And when you've got something, take some time to draw or write about it. And while we're sharing, we're going to bring all of this into this funnel and start to look at, what will I bring into this week? How was this experience today with synthesis and the 4-question exercise? How did it help me make sense of grief and grieving and connect them to my life? What have I discovered that I can bring into my life starting this week, starting today? And as we do this, I'm going to ask us to funnel we can have a discussion about how that experience was, what came up with us, and then funnel it into, I am going to fill in the blank and fill in the particulars of when, where, and how. So we're really going to ground this into our reality. So,
And to pray.
yeah, so let's take a minute. Maybe Jonas is going to play his ukulele for us. And let's take a minute to breathe together with our hands so we can see the breath, opening with the inhale. Or Jonas, you may want to play the ukulele and we'll all breathe with you. Closing our hands as we exhale. And just a cacophony of love. Everybody can say every loving thing they want to all at the same time.
Hey, thank you so much, everybody. This is such a
Thank
great
you,
Thank
Remy.
you.
I love you.
and
So great.
Appreciate
Nice
hearing
to
everybody's
reconnect.
Pat,
reflections.
thank you for being
and
here. Love you.
So glad
I love
everybody
you,
was
Emmy.
here.
Love you,
Good to be
Nancy,
here.
Listen to
Richard,
everything that you have to
Remy,
offer.
Jonas.
Love
It's
you.
so great to be
Thank you.
here with
Appreciate
everyone,
what
get to
you
see
Such
everybody.
do,
tender
Nancy,
heart.
and the
Love you.
visualization
Oh,
share.
Good luck.
this
Thank
was
you,
really cool
Jonas.
to hear.
Jonas, and
Thank
I
you.
love you.
sharing
Thanks
about
for
your
sharing
self
yourself.
space. Yeah.
Thank you, Ami. I love you.
Oh,
Focus.
thank you. I do. I like that.
Mm.